So I'm working at the Boys and Girls Club in San Diego now, and my coach calls me, Coach Jordan. He passed away. He's like, yo, I need you to come down here and run some routes. And I was like, nah, I'm at work. He's like, nah, get your ass down. And I was like he had to make me come down there. So I went down there, ran some routes, I sent the VHS tape out. Like a week later, the coach calls me, OC. And this is what he told me. He said, yo, you coming or what? And I was like, yeah. Because then it's D2, I'm playing up, and it's going to be cheaper because they're going to put me on scholarship. Yeah, I may have to take out a loan for, like, my miscellaneous stuff, but that's how I chose to go there. You know what I'm saying? I did get offered, but prior to that, to Chadron State, was the D2, but they offered me, like, on Thursday night and wanted me there on Tuesday. And I was like, nah, I ain't doing that. So that's how I got to Fort Hays.
So how did that work out?
My first year, I got hurt. I hurt my foot in camp, and I stepped in a hole. First off, they told me it was only like 4 or 5 receivers, but then looking back, like that's impossible. And I get there, and it's like 15 of us. So like the first week, I only caught like 2 passes. So I'm like, man, this is whack. I don't even want to be here. And then I hurt my foot, and then the coach he was like, yo, you gonna play or not, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I come back, and I get better, and then I hurt my foot again. The dude steps on it, and I hurt my ankle. So then, like, we a week out from the first game. So I suit up for the first game, but they don't play me in the first half. And then they send me out there in the second half because I was complaining, but I couldn't run. My foot was already cold. It was hurt, cold. But then the second game, we played Washburn. I think I had 3 passes and I scored a touchdown. No, yeah. And then after that, that's when he stepped on my foot again. So I was like, yo, I'm just red shirt. And then I had ankle surgery. And then the next year, so I go back. I'm training in Miami. And then I thought I tore my ACL. Was this? Yeah, this was that year. So I go back, and the crazy thing, it was against Antrell Roll. I tried to get off the line, and he just held me and turned. And it didn't work out for me. So then I went back. That was my junior year. So it was partially torn. So I told OC, I was like, yo, I'm going to play until my knee popped. And I went to one practice. I was good. The second practice, I caught a pass, tried to plant, and popped my knee and tore my ACL. And then, so then I'm rehabbing, and then I go back. I'm training again, and
this is at a time where it's not like rehabbing nowadays with sports medicine, where you tear your ACL, you might be good in 6 months.
Nah, they told me
6 to 8.
Yeah, 6 to 8.
But I was possessed at that time because I would get up in the morning. Brian Razak, he was the trainer. I would go see Brian. I would do my rehab in the morning, and then I would come back and I would do it again, and then I would go in the pool, and then I would go play basketball. And looking back, I probably shouldn't have did it, but it helped me because it helped me to start moving. So I was just possessed, and then I went back to Miami that year, and I trained, and I was like, it like all clicked. Finally, it clicked, and I remember like, this is back when Sean Taylor was there, Roscoe Parrish is there. I think Dre had just left. Darnell Jenkins is there. I don't know if Lance Leggett was there. And I remember doing 7-on-7 with him. And they probably don't remember this, but Jerome McDougal and Jackson, I don't remember, I think it was Jackson or Andrew something. And it was like, yo, where you play at? I was like, nah, I'm at a D2. He was like, nah, you need to be here. Like when he told me that, it was like Jerome McDougal told me that, I was like, oh, all right, I could do it. And then I finally, I went and played that last year, and I had a pretty good year. I think I led the team in yards and catches, but it wasn't like nothing great. I mean, like amazing, but I felt like I finally showed a little bit what I could do.
After your college football career, was it already in your head like, I'm a go coach? I'm a coach at some point.
It was no, because I wasn't coming back to Miami. The only reason I came back to Miami because my uncle, he said he was going to give me a tryout with the CFL. So I'm working out again. But during this time, I'm waking up at like 4:30 in the morning. I go work out.
Like you do now.
Yeah. I would work out, and then I did my internship with Swayze. I would just be there all day long. And that's where I got learning how to work out and stuff from being around Swayze so much.
Explain to the people who Swayze is, Swayze, the legendary Swayze.
He's the god, dog. Like anybody that came through UM, that went through the pros from like 99, 2000 on, like to the Al Golden era, it was because of Swayze. You know what I'm saying? That foundation. And anybody that watched this, if you want to know the reason that UM is not winning, it's because they don't have Andrew Swayze. If y'all want to win, go get Swayze, and everything will go back to normal.
Facts.
You keep putting everybody different in the weight room until the weight room and the discipline and the culture is reestablished, which is because of Swayze. You're going to keep getting them 6 and 6s and 7 and 7s. So I did my internship under him and didn't get a tryout. So mad at my uncle, whatever, I work a football camp at UM. And this old man sees me. I wish I knew his name. I don't know his name. And he was like, hey, you're pretty good. You want to coach or whatever? I was like, all right. Because I didn't know what I was doing. So he put me on the phone with the head coach, Coach Dunn from New Orleans, and they give me a job. So I'm coaching.
High school football at a prestigious program.
And that's when
and his
coaching Lester Jean, Antonio Brown, Richard Gordon, I think it was somebody else that went to the pros there. So it was a learning again. I'm learning something that I don't understand at the time, that what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I got into coaching.
I like when stories are told, because people may just see, and I remember like you may just see on social media you hanging out with AB, not knowing where the relationship stemmed from. I can say the same with myself. Like when I'm at games and I'm with Khaled, and people don't know the relationship stemmed from when I was his intern 15, 17 years ago. Like,
but see, everybody call him AB. I call him Tony. Like I know Tony. Like everybody know AB. I know Tony.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the wife beater, like need $2 to get some pizza.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so to see, and he do stuff people don't agree with, don't like, but to see where he came from, to see what he got now, like the first time I walked into the mansion, the estate, I almost cried.
Because you've been to his house, like where he grew up, like where he was in high school and stuff, right? He's from the city?
Yeah, he from Liberty City.
Yeah. So I'm sure you've been to the crib and saw where he came from.
He almost lived with me. Like he was going through some stuff. Like, you know, I kind of helped him and his dad reunite when we was at New Orleans. And like he ain't really had nowhere to. And I like maybe one day he'll do the podcast, but everybody don't know like the path he took, like that. It wasn't what they think. It wasn't just go to Central Michigan, catch 100 balls, go to the NFL. Like, nah, it was some stops that nobody know about, you know, along that way. But yeah, I know Tony, like from when he was a junior in high school. You know what I'm saying? So, but I just, and you're the king of this. You don't talk about your relationships or boast about your relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't. Like if you see it, if you see it, you see it. You know, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But,
So after being at Northern, what happens after that? Did you get an opportunity?
Nah,
Hutch comes later on.
Hutch come later. I had actually got out of coaching, but I had I was a pool sub and I was supposed to get a full-time job, but then the lady came back. So I was a regular sub, so I wasn't making no money and I was getting into debt. And then the coach was supposed to give me a spot. He never did. So that's when Randy Shannon pulled some strings and got me. I was Randy Shannon, my uncle, but I think Randy finished the job and got me in the Gables. And then I started coaching at Gables. And then I got out of coaching.
Randy was at Gables at the time?
No, Randy was
still at UM.
Yeah, but Randy
just had connects.
He was cool. Yeah, he was cool with me because he knew me since I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Being around him, being my uncle, Swayze, you know, and so that's how I got to Gables. And my cousin was there. Boogie, Tyrone Frierson was there. He went on to play at FIU. I don't know where Trent Lane went somewhere. Home, that's where Vilma went. Vilma and Frank Gore. But they was before me. But I was on the staff with the coaches that coach Vilma and Frank. Got out of coaching. I was working in a liquor store, which is
ironic
because I don't drink.
You're the perfect person for that.
Yeah. So, not really knowing what I'm doing in my life. Again, it's that feeling of like something ain't right, but I don't know what's not right, but this ain't what it is. You know what I'm saying? And then I got a phone call from Coach Gooch, who's now the athletic director at Hutch. And he was like, hey, you want to coach football? I was like,
random phone call.
Random. But looking back, it was OC, the head coach from Fort Hays, because me and OC stayed in touch. OC saved my life, man. Like, for real. Like, OC saved my life, like, a couple times. And this is one of them. I define that because he's the one who told Coach Gooch, like, I wanted to get back into coaching or whatever I was willing. So Gooch was like, yo, you could, I got a DB job for you. I never coached DBs. He was like, it pays $12,500. I was like, all right.
Sign me up.
Yeah, just go ahead, walk in that door and figure it out. So he was getting the head coaching job at Ellsworth Community College, which is a JUCO in the Iowa League. And let me tell you something. Ellsworth is like, ain't nothing there. There's nothing there. So
prison.
Yeah. So I go out there for 6 months. We go out there and he's supposed to come back to Hutch to be the head coach. So he's telling me to come with him. So then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna come. And I go to Hutch. But the funny story is Jalen Myers. I signed Jalen Myers to go to Ellsworth. Okay. Eric Henderson, who's now the D-line coach for the LA Rams, was a coach at Georgia Military. He was leaving Georgia Military, and he hit me. He was like, yo, I got this dude who's, like, legit. So he gives me Jalen Myers. Jalen comes to Ellsworth. Jalen gets there, like, let's say it's Saturday. Gooch tells me he's leaving on Monday.
Oh, wow.
So I got a couple dudes there, but the only one I can take is Jalen. So I call the registrar because I was always nice to the people. I learned you had to be nice to him.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, Gooch is leaving, and this kid is upset. Is there any way we can make it look like he never came here? And she was like, yeah, I can do that, blah, blah, blah. And then she sent this, did it, boom, boom, boom. He jumped in the car with us. Came to Hutch, and he was an All-American. One of the probably Jalen Myers is the best athlete I've probably ever seen in my life.
And you had some athletes at Hutch, bro.
But I'm just saying athletically to do everything.
Okay.
Like basketball, football, jump, run. Like Jalen Myers is like the GOAT of athleticism.
So how does a receiver get a DB job?
He just needed a guy. It didn't like if you're a good coach, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And I figured it out because I just flipped everything.
Okay.
And you gotta so like for people out there, like when you're recruiting starts in your season is over in, let's say, November. You start recruiting that whole until signing day is like in February, I think. Okay, when we went to Ellsworth, we didn't start recruiting until April. So we went. They were like 0-22 or 1-22 or 2-22 or something like that. We went 7-something and went to a bowl game, and we didn't start recruiting until April. And I had 3 all-conference DBs.
Why so late?
Because he didn't get the job until February, April, or something like that. You know, that's when we started recruiting. Yeah. So I had 3 all-conference DBs there. And then when I got to Hutch, I don't think they've done this since. I had 2 All-Americans and 4 all-conference DBs when I went to Hutch.
Hutch, small population.
Yeah.
Right? Somewhat like your hometown. You get there, culture shock. Yeah. First day in, you like, what did I sign up for?
Well, no, because I had been at Ellsworth.
Okay, yeah.
Ellsworth is like
smaller.
But Ellsworth got a KFC, a Chinese food place, and a Casey's.
That's it.
Yeah.
And a prison.
A couple stoplights.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. That it's nothing there. Like it's nothing there. I don't even think they have a movie theater. I don't even know if that really worked. Like I think they used to show movies sporadically. Like it's nothing there.
Damn.
So when I got to Hutch, like going to Hutch was like Las Vegas. For real. Hutch is like, for real.
I remember watching a Netflix special, and I was like, oh, it's the school that he coached at. This is crazy. So let the viewers know the athletes that came through Hutch.
Well, before me, Cordell Patterson, Toby Johnson, who's actually playing for the USFL right now. He's one of the, I think he's like the all USFL. Golden went there. That was before me. And then once I got there, you know, of course, Alvin Kamara, I signed Alvin Kamara. Some people, if you Google these names, if you look up their highlights, like Mike Blakely. There was a time I went on a streak. I signed 4 SEC running backs in a row. I signed Mike Blakely, Alvin Kamara, Trayvon Paul, and Tyron Jones.
So what was the thing about them wanting to come to Hutch when they could have went
nobody
anywhere else?
Nah, nobody wanted to come to Hutch, but it's the best of the options that you have. But once you get there, like it's the Taj Mahal of JUCOs.
Okay.
Like if you're gonna go anywhere at JUCO, you're gonna go. You should go to Hutch if you're smart, because it's like
that's a guaranteed ticket out.
If you do what you're supposed to.
Yeah,
if you do what you're supposed to. The way it's set up, the way everything is
like a big school.
Yeah, everything is set up for you. Like Miss Ellis is the academic lady. Like she run everything. Like without Miss Ellis, the ship don't run. You know, right now, Coach Dallas is the new head coach. Coach Rose was the head coach when I was there, and Coach Dallas is the new head coach. Like everything turned over easy. You know, like you had when I got there, it was me, Coach Ballard, Coach Manili. Like we was doing it. Coach Okengay moved on. Now you got Coach Cross. You know, he's there. Like it's really a machine. You know what I'm saying? So if you do what you're supposed to do, you'll be all right. But we had athletes upon athletes. Like Ledbetter's still in the league. Marquavius Lewis, he was in the league. He played for Buffalo for a little while. I think Claude had a little stint, Claude George. But of course, Cordell Patterson's still in the league. You know, Devondre Campbell, he played for Atlanta. I think he's with Green Bay now. I'm not sure. He's a linebacker. He's in the league. Yeah. So it was like athletes upon athletes. You know, I asked Jerry, because Jerry Jacobs, he went to Hutch. He's with the Detroit Lions. I was like, who? Like, where's your most competition? And Jerry went to Arkansas State and he went to Arkansas. He was like, JUCO.
At Hutch.
Yeah. Because every day, like, you going to mess up if you want to.
Well, especially like let's say you're a running back and you got 5 other running backs. We had this conversation before. Like the person in front of you is nice. The person behind you is nice.
Like do what you want to do, but like
Because it's the best of the best.
It's the best.
They're all like 5-star athletes.
Yeah, but
all in the JUCO.
The only ostriches like Cordero was a ostrich. Well, there was another guy there that went there with Cordero. God, what was his name? He was a shorter receiver. I can't think of his name, but he was like I think he had more offers than Cordero as a receiver. I can't think of his name. It'll come to me later, but he played at the same time as Cordero also, and then a year after, and then but nobody did what Alvin did. Alvin it wasn't fair. Like the same thing that he
doing now against grown men in the NFL.
He did it. He does it. He did it in JUCO at half speed. Like they need to do a documentary. First, they need to do a documentary on Hutch.
Right.
But then they need
the Netflix JUCO thing they did. That was just
they offered. General. They actually, I think Coach Rose said they offered that to us, but he turned it down. But they need to do like that. Alvin needs to do like his path, because that JUCO, what he did in JUCO it's like a unicorn. Like you only see it once.
Yeah, I remember you telling me stories like he ball out, don't play the whole second half.
He only played, dog.
First half, he got 200 something yards. He's sitting down.
Man, JUCO, the Jayhawk Conference is the SEC of junior college football. I'm not arguing with nobody. That's what it is. Okay, he only played 3 full games. Like first quarter to fourth quarter,
yeah,
he only played, and we only lost 1 game. So do the math. And then he didn't play. No, was it 2 full? It was, 3 full games. And then he didn't play the last 3 games. Not at all.
Oh, he just didn't suit up.
Yeah. And he was the player of the year.
So he got them banker's hours, man. He got in there, did his work, and he was out by the second.
He would tell me that. I'd be like, yo, what you got, champ? I used to call him champ. I'd be done at halftime. I'm like, what? Because we was getting bonuses. Thank you. Kids had good Christmas that Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Nah, he played in 9. He only played in 9 of the games. He didn't play the last 3 games. He was the player of the year, and he only played 3 full games.
In every major school.
Yeah. But he already knew where he was going.
Yeah.
You know, but again, this is looking back. I had told my brother, because my brother was at Penn State, and he was like, the coaches they didn't care because they had Saquon Barkley. I'm like, but this was before Saquon was Saquon. I'm like,
right.
Y'all don't think y'all want 2 of them? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I had Alvin, Jeremiah Ledbetter, who still, I think he's with the Panthers or the Jaguars, Marquavius Lewis, and Claude George. I told about all of them. All of them were All-Americans, and they passed on all of them. Well, Claude was committed. I think Claude was committed, and then he decommitted. Claude went to Texas A&M. Ledbetter went to Marquavius went to South Carolina. Ledbetter went to where did he go to? He went somewhere, and then Alvin went to Tennessee, and Claude Texas A&M. Jeremiah, I forgot where he went to Arkansas. Marquavius went to South Carolina, and Claude went to Texas A&M, and then Alvin. And I told him about all of them. I was like, yo, we can change but nah.
How was your relationship with a lot of these head coaches, knowing that you had so much talent at the JUCO level? How was your, like, were you getting texts and stuff like that from like these major schools?
Yeah.
Like asking and.
Yeah. I mean, I've probably talked to all. I've never talked to Nick.
Yeah.
But like everybody else.
Somebody from his school though? Somebody from Bama?
Oh yeah, like Billy Napier who's at Florida. Bobby Bentley's really cool. Dan Lanning, who just got the job at Oregon, 2 years ago, like he's in my phone still as like recruiting coordinator of like I think it was at Georgia then. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy to see, like you'll talk to these guys, they'll come in the office and then they just boost up. Golish, who's I think he was at Iowa State. Like, so it's just about being relationships. And I think my perception is they would talk to me because I would tell them the truth.
Right.
There was a certain player, and I don't want to say his name, who's a great talent. And he didn't do what he was supposed to do at Hutch, but he still had the talent. He came from a D1, came to Hutch. He really didn't do what he was supposed to do, but then he had a chance to go back to SEC. And all he had to do was go and do his work in the office. They came on Monday. He showed up late. He didn't come Tuesday. Muschamp calls me Wednesday, and he's like, Thaddeus, is he going to do it? I was like, I don't think so, bro. And he got a scholarship pulled on Wednesday.
Blew it.
Yeah. So it's more of those stories than it is the success stories because there's so much talent that we had out there. It was crazy.
It was a good time. You end up starting the family there.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to do in that small.
Nah. It's cool though. I mean, again, I'm comparing it to Bossier City. I'm comparing it to Ellsworth. So I'm like, Iowa Falls. So I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, this is all I need. I'll go play basketball, eat, and go home. Like, that's it. Yeah. So, yeah.
So how does it end with Hutch? Did you make it? You're like, yeah, I've been doing this for a while.
It was some turmoil, and partly because of my marriage ending and all that, and stopped working there. Started working at a gym, and it didn't. That was a scam, and was going through a divorce. Got divorced, and I was like, "Yo, let me just figure it out." So then I moved, and when I moved, pandemic hits. So I'm like out of a job. I'm jobless, and but the good thing about that was my daughters came during the pandemic, so I got those 5-6 months with them, just me and them chilling, and then I get an opportunity to work at the sports agency, which is something like it's a dream job. So now I'm basically doing the same thing I was doing at JUCO. I just doing it on a different level. So I got put into that situation, and I've been just off and running ever since.
And how you enjoying that?
Nah, I love it.
Because you're still involved in the game you love so much as you know, as you were a child. Mm-hmm. You're doing it on the pro level. You've always had the eye for talent. Yeah. So you can go after some of these athletes and be like, yeah, this kid's gonna make it. This kid's gonna make it. This kid's gonna. Because
I got a different, like, they got a lot of agencies and agents out there who they just going off a chart.
Yeah,
they're going off of, you know what I'm saying. But I'm gonna look, and I'm gonna trust my eyes with what I believe. You know what I'm saying, and that's how I kind of feel like I can separate myself, or I do separate myself in the business of this. Is I believe what I see. You know, so.
And it's a grind because I be on the phone with them like, yeah, where you at now? Oh man, I had to come back to Atlanta. Oh, I had to come. I'm like, bruh, Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, it's a job, but it's not a job. But it's just, you got to be open to go.
But it's an ultimate blessing because you're involved in something that you absolutely love.
And it's good dudes, like working for Stan, and working for DeAndre, like, it's Ron, it's, you working with good people. I ain't afraid or like walking around like, oh, what am I gonna do? Like, am I gonna get my check, or is it going? It's not like working a regular 9-to-5 where you got to deal with a boss or a manager. Like, yo, the owner of the company, I may talk to him once a month. That's not even a good average. Like, long as you doing what you're supposed to do, like, he trusts you to do what you're supposed to do. Maintain your clients. You maintain your clients. We all grown men. You got to figure that job. You got to figure what you're supposed to do. And that comes from, like, seeing my dad military, being him, seeing my uncle get up every day, take care of, the kids. And, I mean, it's just about handling your responsibility. Like my uncle been raising kids since he was in college. Every kid in my family done live with my uncle.
Wow.
Every kid done had a stint of living with him, and he just take them all in and
Get you right.
Yeah. You may not like his ways, but his ways is right.
They're proven.
Yeah. So how you not gonna listen when Frank Gore had to listen, Roscoe had to listen, Andre had to listen? You know what I'm saying? Like,
just on his resume alone, I'm gonna listen.
And a lot of the guys that was at UM was recruited by him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so even if they wasn't receivers, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a funny story. Like, Frank Gore was going to Ole Miss. Yeah.
Frank Gore that went to school right here.
No, he was going to Ole Miss.
What?
It was over. My uncle pulled up on him and told him, you scared.
That's how you got to talk to him.
I said, what? So you scared to compete? I thought you was the best running back.
Look who was in the backfield. So your uncle called him out on it. Like,
yeah.
There was some.
Nah, he was going to Ole Miss. It was over.
With no competition. Yeah. He would have been RB1.
Yeah. RB now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Nah, man.
That's how you talk to people.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but I get it from him.
But it works.
Sometimes. But the people that don't get it, don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I've always valued that. Like, I'd rather somebody tell me how it is than to like sugarcoat me and like,
yeah.
No, man, just tell me how it is, bro. I'm gonna respect that more than.
Nah, and the dudes that like when I was, because the good thing about working at Hutch was Coach Rhodes. He left me alone, but I treated that as a badge of honor because I ran the weight room, so I'm dealing with everybody. And yeah, it's JUCO, but if you there, something wrong. Like I used to tell him, like, yo, you can't have no attitude here because you here for a reason. If you was right, I wouldn't have never met you.
Fact.
You know, your grades is messed up physically. You not there yet. You got in trouble. Your attitude bad. Something wrong with you. So
something brought you here.
Yeah, so you here for a reason. So if you don't want to be here, that's cool. But you here now. What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? And we don't need you. I used to tell him quick, like, yo, I don't need you, dog. You know what I'm saying? If I can get Alvin Kamara and we ain't had no problems out of him, and he's Haley's comment, who is you? Like, shut up.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? And some dudes would take that and hold on to it, and then some dudes would go the other way. You know, that's why like Jalen Irwin, Jalik, Jagway, guys like that, like, they get it. We still have a relationship to this day. You know what I'm saying? They get it. Jerry Jacobs, like, we have a relationship to this day because they understood that I was trying to prepare them for football here and beyond here and dealing with things in life, and they got it. You know what I'm saying? Is what happened with me too. Like, that's the tough love that my uncle gave me that helped me to be, like, I guess, successful. You know what I'm saying? To figure it out. Because don't nobody care about you.
You ever thought about getting back in coaching? But not on the high school level. Like,
I ask him that too. I'm always like, do you miss it?
Yeah, like if a
Hell
big
no.
Power 10 school or something called you and was like, hey,
I don't.
Or even on the pro level, like, hey, we need you to.
Nah. I mean, nah.
Maybe not the pro level, because
then
you got to deal with attitudes and people telling you they make more money than you and whatnot.
I don't.
But I think your impact,
the lifestyle, the wanting to coach, yeah, but the lifestyle, nah. I don't want that lifestyle. Like, I feel like I can impact in other ways. Like, if somebody want help, I can still help them. And the funny thing is, like, being on this side of it now, like, a lot of the dudes don't know that I coached and that I know what I'm talking about.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So I tell them like that, or I'll look at something and they, like, kind of look at me like I don't know. It's like working out. Like, I ran the weight room. Like, I was a strength coach. I'm a certified strength coach. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't know that. So, like, when they be talking, I just let them talk and look at them like, okay, yeah, whatever you say. Like.
But then still, you're the one getting up in the morning, working out with Swayze.
Still,
yeah, trying to stay. I need something. Like I figured that out by myself. Like I need a goal. I need a something to do. And I kind of, I was riding over here thinking about my life. Like I needed sports. You know what I'm saying? I needed to be out of my environment. Then I do that. So now I need sports. Now I need football. Now I need, and then part that we didn't talk about was like the music. Like I needed that because it was the new challenge because I couldn't play football anymore. So I went through the music part of it.
The Tubb City, the mixtapes.
But that was therapy.
Okay.
Because it was, when I first started it with the twins, it was like, I wanted to see if I could. Shout out to the twins. Yeah. That was funny.
You saw the video?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah,
when you was at the game.
I literally gave him a shout out in the middle of a contest.
Yeah. So professional.
Were they
Q's,
they were there.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
but it's unscripted.
Yeah, I'm doing this contest. And it says something about twins. I promise you. One of the answers was something about twins, or one of the questions was something about twins, and they're literally on the next to me in the same row, and I just mid sentence, shout out to the twins, by the way, and go right back into
hilarious.
Yeah, but I remember that time. Twins, man, the twins are very, very talented, man. So that was therapeutic for you. That was
when it first started. It was can I do it? It was my fix. It was my competitive fix.
But you never wrote or anything in college? Like, this is what I've always wanted to know. Like, you never got into it in college? Like,
there was one time me and this basketball player made a song, and I don't even, because he was a cool dude, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna be a rapper or I'm gonna do this. It was like, once I got with the twins, it was like, let me see if I can do this because I need something to compete with myself at. And I learned how to rap backwards. Not backwards like saying words backwards. I learned because the beats that they were doing were harder. So I learned how to rap on harder stuff. So that's why the newer, older stuff sounds a little bit more fluid, because I had already went through training camp. And then those other, so that was like Book of Singles. And then once you get to the Life and Times of Tubb City, which is the inspiration behind part of that, that and the Angels and Demons, that was therapy because it's actually autobiographical. How do you say the word?
Autobiographical.
Yeah, autobiographical. So, I mean, of course you're going to magnify and say certain things, but 95% of that is true. Like, I really had a gun to my head about to and then I see my brother's face, you know what I'm saying? Like, crying. I've never seen my brother cry. I really went through problems with, when my grandfather died. Me and my mama really got into it, and that was how I got it out, through the music. And yeah, it was entertainment, but it was also me giving therapy to myself.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah,
I've heard that a lot. Like, it's literally therapeutic.
And there's probably 3 people that have listened to it, but
that's 3 more.
It's about to be a lot more.
But like the first one with the twins, it was just making music. It was just having fun making music. And then the Life and Times of Tubb City, it starts off with an alarm, because in that time in my life I was going crazy, like literally going, like I say in the line, I'm like, I done lost my mind like twice, and so too, like really ready to be gone. So that first one is like, I'm going through a crazy state, but by the end of it, I'm figured it out. In the sequence of the songs, I'm happy at the end because now I'm getting through the hard times of my life, and it plays out through the sequencing. And then the angels and demons is more like, oh, this is all fake. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, y'all wanted me to be nice and lovable and all this, but it don't matter because you still gonna treat me like a piece. You know, and it's like my alter ego, Arnold. My name is Thaddeus Arnold Brown Jr. So Arnold is the bad guy. So I'm going to say everything that I want to say that I wasn't supposed to say in an uncensored manner. And then I say everything, and then everything gets released. And then the last song is like, I release everything, and I'm just like, whew, I got it all out. So it's actually an autobiography of my feelings and the way that it plays out to get to where I can be in a sane place.
How did you even come up with that? Like, it was just,
or was it
just
a plan?
The space that you were in at the moment.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And it was like, this is what I want to do, and this is how I want to.
No, like I thought. I mean, because it's like Life and Times in Tubb City. It was such a bad time in my life, and I knew I was going crazy. But the only sane moments were when I was around the twins, when I was doing, with Mama Twin, with Qzar, their dad, and Joe and Josh. So I had to do that to get back to a healthy state. And then I went through a time in my life where it was like, oh, you're doing this, you're still getting screwed over, or you're still making bad decisions. So you might as well say whatever you want to say because you're going to get the same result, but at least you'll feel like you got it out. So that's where the angels and demons, the Arnold of the emotions come out of not being politically correct, because the first song is like it's just an intro of basically me screaming and saying a bunch of stuff that you think, like, it's the stuff that you think that you're not allowed to say that you will get canceled for. That was the angels and demons stuff. And then the end is like a real heartfelt song about going through everything that I wanted to say to a lot of people, even to myself, because it's called letter to the mirror. So I'm talking to myself. Like, I got to write you a letter because it ain't right. So I just had to get it out in order. And it's funny because it wasn't on no platform. It wasn't nothing. The only reason I really have it up is so one day my daughters can listen to it and kind of get an understanding. So
that's dope. That's deep as shit, though.
It's probably like the most vulnerable I've ever heard you. Like when I listened to it the first time, because you're always so put together and seem to be so in control. And you don't drink, you don't smoke, you haven't been in a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
you always work your ass off.
Yeah,
you've continued.
But I had to learn how to mentally figure it out, like decipher things, because like the bad choices or the bad outcomes happen even if it's not your fault. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of things that were my fault, and then there have been some things that wasn't my fault. And the public and everybody, you're on the internet, you're in the news, and your friends, your family looking at you like you crazy, and it's like, I didn't even do nothing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I had to figure out how to like be calm and be still. That's where, if you see me quiet, I'm trying to figure out the emotion and make sure, like, am I making the right decision? Because the wrong decision, I know if I make, my natural state is to make a quick this, but that could lead me to
get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what's crazy about the people, like those of us that are close to you. Because you say, I'll go from 1 to 100 like this.
Yeah.
Oh, I done talked his ass out of
Yeah.
not going there plenty of times.
But the
I've
crazy
been plenty of
thing
times after talking about, hey, bro, hey, what the?
Yeah.
No, I'm picking you up right now.
But the crazy things is that like in moments when you should have or could have done that, you haven't.
But that's something,
and you wouldn't have been in the wrong in majority of the situations.
Exactly.
But it's so backwards because that's something I get from my dad, and it's like if you know you can win, it don't count. Like if I know you disrespect me, and my biggest thing in the world is disrespect, but I know you really can't win, then it don't count if I win. Like I want the real fight, but then I gotta figure out, is the real fight worth it?
Right.
You know, so it's just been a learning experience, like throughout, and I always said I coached and I want to help kids the way that I was helped and the way that I wasn't helped. So that's where a lot of the motivation for trying to do the right thing, trying to help, trying to pick up phone calls with dudes who, you know, can't get it right. And I just feel it's my duty because so many people help me out. Like so many people help me. It's not like one person I can say, oh, they did this and it was over. Like, nah, it's so many of them.
Transitioning to Tubb City, the father.
Yeah.
This is where it gets vulnerable. Because we share the same sentiment. Like, you know, me, you, and Cello, we've talked about this and how we are as fathers and examples we want to lead for our children and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Just Tubb City, the father. What? Give the people.
Nah, it's just like
let them in.
It's my greatest. It's my motivation. Like I just want to be a good dad. I want to make good human beings. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, everybody sees me do a lot of sports and stuff with them, but I want them to be good human beings, even if they don't, you know, excel or whatever. I just want them to be good people because that's a part of the world that the world is missing. And I want them to be self-sufficient and just good people. So that's my goal. Like that's it. Like, yeah, like I think about, oh, I wish I could buy this or we could go there or I could own this. But at the end of the day, none of that really matters. You know what I'm saying? So
time is more valuable.
Yep.
Yeah, like I look at my bills. I'm like, oh, I got to pay this credit card. What are they going to do if I die? Like they can't. I just need to worry about making sure my kids are, you know, right and doing what they're supposed to do. Like that means to hear daddy and for them to just want attention and ask me crazy questions and whatever. Like that's what I live for. You know, everything else is non-important-ish. So
the moment they come into this world, your life changes.
Yeah.
Just like that.
It was...
'Cause it's no longer about you.
Nah,
it is strictly about them for the rest of their lives. Even when you get old.
Yeah.
You know, and they call you with some issue going on.
I'm learning as I go. Yeah. But because I want to be the dad that they could just tell anything to and talk to about everything. And I'm having to relearn my normal. Because a lot of the stuff that we grew up on, that our parents, they didn't really know what they was doing.
No.
So it's like, just because
my mom was
normal,
a weekend parent. Dead ass.
Yeah. So just because it's normal don't make it right. So I got to kind of like think about what I do and how I present things to them to make a new normal to make sure everything is good, you know? So.
Which I feel like you don't give yourself enough credit for. I get to see you be a dad. Like, I think that's one thing that I told you from the beginning is like seeing, well, I think hearing your story about how much you moved around and how like transient you were, you would think that you might have trouble like having relationships that have lasted. And one of the things that I admire the most about you is that you have like amazing friends, like Robbie. What did you guys tell me last week or whenever that was? Like you went to kindergarten together. Yeah. That's crazy to me. Mm-hmm. So even though your relationship with him was sporadic in terms of space, it's never been sporadic in terms of, you know, the relationship or your closeness. So when I like meet Mikey, Cello, Robbie, you guys are all amazing dads and maybe haven't had the best examples of dads. I mean, clearly Mikey, you don't even know yours. So to see that, especially as a woman, you know, is amazing.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's just automatic. So it's kind of hard to step out of it because that's what my uncle did. It wasn't like you look back and it's like, oh, my uncle took care of everybody. But you look at it like, if I had to take care of 6 kids right now, 5 kids right now, I don't know if I could do it. Yeah. And he's been doing it since the 80s. You know what I'm saying?
With ease.
So it's like my uncle is like the go to that. So it's like if he did that and I can't do it with mine, then I ain't shit. You know, so I gotta like.
But you're not talking about like you talked about your dad saying you had to say good morning, you had to say good night. Like that's not the type of dad you are.
No, but that's
like
what
I'm gonna sit and do hair for 4 hours on a weekday.
Yeah, I still don't know how to do hair. He be braiding his kids' hair.
I mean,
my dad look at me. My daughter look at me like I ain't shit. Like I'm a terrible dad because I can barely do a bud. I gotta tell her, all right, spin 18 times.
Oh, Cello's trick.
Yeah, I got that.
But that come from my uncle. Like he had to do everything. So it's like I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it visually. Like okay. Put lotion on, do this, do that. But so now it's like, all right, he did it that way, so now I can kind of remix it and do it like that.
Yeah, but you say had to. He didn't have to.
No.
But he did.
Yeah.
And that's like what you guys do as dads.
Yeah.
Yeah, your uncle is definitely a real one.
Yeah. He made it happen for everybody. So. Yeah.
Okay, so bringing it back to like relationships and ones that you've kept, like let's play this name association thing that we talked about.
Ooh, I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot about it, but let's see. I'll give you a name and then or a name or a thing, and then you'll give your spill on them. So we'll start with Mikey. DJ M. Dot.
Damn. One of the like greatest friends ever. Like really look up to you in regards to how you ascended to where you're at and you didn't lose yourself. You've been everywhere, you've met everybody, but like you're still like your dudes are your dudes and it doesn't matter. And I try to hold on to that to take that and apply it to myself as a human being and a friend to be like, yo, just be even kill whoever. It don't matter who they are, you know, like a true, genuine person, like a real friend.
Yeah. Okay, Cello.
Oh shit. I feel like if you mad at Cello, like you got problems.
Yeah, you can't get mad at him.
Like I don't know if I ever seen him mad. Like he's a genuine good soul. Like, and he's like that with everybody. Like it's like the what would Jesus do? Like it's what would Cello do? Like would Cello smack this dude right now? Or nah,
never.
Okay, so I can't do it. You know, so like nah, he's always been that backbone, you know, of a friend.
Yeah. And for the people, so you met Cello and Mikey when you were in middle school.
No, it was
or early high school. Early high school.
Yeah,
okay.
Early high school.
So,
I'm the oldest of the group.
Yeah.
Which is not old, I'm sure. Okay, Southern Made Donuts.
Ooh, the best donuts ever. Best donut, better than Krispy Kreme, better than.
They were pretty good.
Better, they make them hot at 4:00 from on.
Are they specialty donuts?
Nah.
Or
They're
they're
just a
glazed?
glaze.
They can't be better than Krispy Kreme invented that, bro.
No, they
they're
didn't.
so much better than Krispy Kreme.
They didn't?
This is what I'm saying. Like, we've been going to Southern Maid since the 80s. At 4:00, they're hot until it closes. Krispy Kreme, the light is just when the light is on.
Yeah.
And then the next day, you get the day old donuts for half price.
Which are
the leftover joints?
Yeah.
Probably still better than Krispy Kreme. Day old.
Yo, Southern Maid got the best donuts. Like, one of my goals in life is to franchise a Southern Maid donut.
All right. Southern classic fried chicken.
The best fried chicken in the universe.
Now, mind you, for people that are listening.
He doesn't eat chicken.
Doesn't eat chicken.
Oh, yeah, I don't. I stopped eating chicken.
Okay.
He's like,
Damn near don't eat meat, period. Because when the last time you had a steak?
I don't.
I think when we were here, you tried Jay's steak.
I had some churrasco.
And it was good, but that's it.
He tried it.
Tasted it.
But like, when's the last time you consumed like?
Nah, it's probably been a year.
It's been yeah. So
nah, the
and
Southern
chicken has
classic
been-
fried chicken in the South is. There's no other chicken in the world like it. And I don't like people say, oh, it's the best ever. Like, I'm telling you, it's the best chicken ever.
I have never seen his daughter almost consume an entire
she ate the
chicken, like a
cartilage.
whole chicken by herself. She asked us if she was supposed to
ate
eat
the
the ends of the leg.
She ate the gristle.
She ate the bottom of the leg. The bottom of the leg.
And y'all go back 2 days in a row.
Doubled back.
He's like, they're not going to.
And it wasn't even a real day because we got it at night, and then it was like 11 the next day. So it was like
it wasn't even 12 hours.
11.
The next morning.
The
next morning.
Yes, dog.
And then she ate another chicken.
Bruh, like,
It was good.
she had like 2 thighs in a leg, dog.
I
A
said a whole
7-year-old.
chicken. She had 3 legs and a thigh.
It's the best chicken ever. If Southern classic chicken, whatever you need from me, y'all want to do a partnership, a deal,
Get it.
or just send me free chicken batter. I'll whatever. God,
Okay, Aunt Dion.
and Dion saved me. She's a true G. She's she figured it out too. You know, she just lost her daughter Dominique, our cousin, and she's strong, man. She's went through cancer, went through a lot of stuff, and I just look at her as like resilience of getting up every day. So it's kind of hard for me to be like frustrated about my situation or stuff when I look at her and she, helped put us through college and do what she did and raise kids, and it's like she's, a superwoman.
Yeah. Brother Barry.
My brother. I just respect him so highly. He paved the way, for me and protected me physically and mentally. I just have so much respect for him in regards to every aspect of life, of the way that his aspect is on things. I wish I had more of his personality traits in me. But he's just a great big brother, and he's always been there.
Anything else about your uncle's kids? Your cousins?
Oh, Janine, Kijan, Trey, Aaron. They're my cousins, but they really like my brothers and sisters because I grew up with them. That's family. I wouldn't be where I'm at without them. The love that they gave me by taking me in, because you don't have to treat people when they coming into your space like that, but it was just us. It was always us, and it was always us against the world trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And they helped mold me to get to where I'm at, and we still have a great relationship to this day.
Terrell. I don't think you've talked about him yet.
Oh, Terrell. Terrell was one, my best friend when I went to school in Georgia at Shiloh. He's just a good dude, man. Like, he's right is right and wrong is wrong. And another dude that's, raising a lot of kids. And he's like my conscience, if I need some good words or like to even kill myself, he's always has a perspective of commonality and just no ego and always, giving a good outlook and truthfulness. And that's what I admire about him.
Okay. You mentioned OC. You said he saved your life a couple times.
OC.
Anything else about OC?
He saved my life, gave me a chance at college. I was about to get kicked out of school. He saved me. I beat up a ref during a game.
Come on,
but it wasn't my fault.
Whose fault was it?
It wasn't my fault.
Whose fault was it?
But he saved me from that. It wasn't we got the tape.
Does it speak in your favor?
Nah, man.
Yeah. It wasn't my fault.
Nah, you can tell me later.
Nah, but he just was always there for me. And he didn't have to be. And I don't know why out of all the kids that came through there, like, we developed a relationship, him and his wife, they've like became grandparents to my kids. And I don't know why he helped, me so much, but he really truly, like, I wouldn't have graduated or made it without him because he, did extra for me.
Yeah. Swayze.
Swayze's like the god of mentoring. Like, he just gives you knowledge and you don't even know. He just drops stuff on you. It's like Swayze's like my church. Like, he gives that spirit to you to make you not want to do nothing stupid, not mess up, and just the knowledge and being around him just gives you good energy. And he's just like, UM, if y'all want to win. His name is Andrew Swayze. I'm sure you got his number. So.
Brunker.
Oh, Brunker. Mike Brunker. Again, another person that helped me in my life journey. He's been a great friend since 8th grade. I was going to the football. My aunt dropped me off to go to the football practice or whatever, and we started running a lap, and we started talking, and we've been friends ever since. Like, he's always been there. I lived with him. He used to sneak me in the house so I could sleep, and I used to kick his brother out to sleep on the bunk bed, and his brother used to have to go sleep in the other room. So I had to sleep on the floor. And, it was him, his dad, Mr. Brunker, and their mom. Again, they took me in, you know what I'm saying? It was good people.
Okay, Uncle Tiger.
Ooh, he one of the reasons.
The GOAT.
I mean, I wouldn't be here. Like, I wouldn't exist. I wouldn't be a man. I wouldn't be, the father I am without him. Like, the blueprint, my blueprint was him. He's raised everybody. He's given everybody knowledge. And to this day, he's still like, we still talk every other day or so. And he's just an inspiration of everything. And, he had a health scare a while back. And I really don't know how the world would move on, without him. But, like, without him, there ain't no me. So,
your dad.
Highly respecting, man. Like, the journey, the path was kind of weird with us, but from him to make it from Ursuline Street, 6th Ward, New Orleans, go through everything he went through, go to the military, make it out, raise kids, and just from the street he grew up on to where he is to get us out, it's like, it's commendable, and it's not even, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I could have been able to do it. You know, so I have so much respect for him. So it's like he's like a G. He's a gangster. And you know, I hope I live up to his expectations, and I hope I can be like him one day.
Robbie.
Oh shit. Yeah, Robbie's my heart, man. He's that dude, he went to prison for a while, and I don't even know how I'm the level of friend I am to him, the way he sees me, because I don't think I deserve it, because he's the most stand-up dude in the world, the most stand-up dude I know. And like, I base my decisions off of like if he would approve, because I can't let him down. Like, I can't let him down. Like, I just want to prove to him that, you know, I'm a worthy friend, you know? So, yeah.
One more. Your mom.
It's gonna be.
My mom was G. She did some stuff for me and my brother when she died that it's the hardest shit ever, man. She's a gangster. And I never could thank her. And you know, I was an asshole to her for a while. But she's such a G. And like, you asked me about my kids. And the reason I go hard, the last words my mother ever said to me when she was laying in the bed was, take care of Lynn. She was talking about Kaylin. So it's like, I gotta do what she said. And just to make her proud and to know that I'm taking care of my kids, because that was her last words ever on this earth, you know. So it's like, she didn't get to see them, but I see her spirit in them, and it's like, that lady was a G. She was a G. You know, every July is kind of hard because she died in July. She died at 6:37 a.m. And I just wish that I could have said and did more for her, you know, in the past. But what she did for me and my brother, that shit was so hard, man. She's a gangster. But yeah. Wow. All right.
We're going to end on that, man. Once again, man, we appreciate you letting us do this. it's interesting because you're typically on this side, getting us to tell our stories.
I feel like Dave Chappelle. Fuck this couch.
That's episode 6.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all.
Life and Times, Tubb City. Love you, brother.